Feasibility of a FDI insect coils manufacturing site. James Bird, paper written back in October 16th, 2011. That's some time ago. It's 2011. Wrote this one. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're delving into a fascinating topic: feasibility of establishing a foreign direct investment site for manufacturing insect coils. That is. My name, my name is James Bird, and I'll be guiding you through this exploration today. First, let's set the stage. With that, we'll explore the potential of creating a manufacturing site, especially for smokeless mosquito coils, a product that stands out due to its technical excellence and compliance with international standards. The emphasis here is on technical excellence, excellence and compliance. It is. Now then, you might wonder why I focus on insect coils. Well, they're a crucial tool in combating mosquito-borne diseases, enhancing health and comfort across many regions. Today, that is, we'll consider the strategic elements involved in the FDI, foreign direct investment, sourcing high quality components from China, assembling and packaging in optical optional locations, area, and navigating the complexities of policy and return on investments. And we are presumably talking about sourcing, assembling, and navigating. Key emphasis, key points, again, are sourcing, assembling, and navigating. Stay with me as we explore these strategic decisions in more detail. Smile, nod, signal the transition as we move on. Abstract. Let's talk about the abstract. This report examines the feasibility of establishing a foreign direct investment site for manufacturing and assembling smokeless mosquito coil. The core product is smokeless insect coil. It will be sourced from Fuji and Gooki Daily Chemical Company, Ltd. in China due to its technical excellence and ISO REACH compliance. The strategy involved importing this coil from China, packaging in the U.S., and final assembly in a third company optimized for cost, location, and policy environment. These are the things we're talking about. It's all inclusive in this abstract. Is feasibility of the FDI insect coils manufacturing site. Start by introducing the purpose of this report in detail. Again, to set the stage for this audience, of which I did. This report dives into the feasibility of setting up a foreign direct investment site for manufacturing smokeless mosquito coils. Let's start with the core product, smokeless insect coil, sourced from Fujian Goki Daily Chemical Company, Ltd. in China. This company stands out for its technical excellence and compliance with international standards like ISO and REACH. Our strategy involves a three-pronged approach. One, importing coils from China for their superior quality, packaging in the U.S., which allows us to leverage our local market strengths, final assembly in a third company, this country that is. This decision is driven by optimizing for cost, location, and a favorable policy environment. This strategy approach is meticulously designed to streamline operations and maximize returns. Looking at margin differential. I conclude with a cognitive tone as we transition smoothly into the next section on problem framing. That is, moving right along, framing the FDI problem. Question is, the main question is whether to what? Acquire an existing manufacturer overseas. That's one. Launch a greenfield investment. We'll go over that. It's a greenfield. A greenfield opposed to a brownfield. We'll go over that. Partners or mergers with a capital capability with a capable local firm, one that's ISO and REACH qualified. Also, China will supply the core component. Final assembly should be elsewhere due to policy and return on investment concerns that they're brief. Let's dive into the central question we're addressing: the optimal approach for establishing our FDI site. We're considering three main strategies. Firstly, acquiring an existing manufacturer overseas could expedite our entry into the market. However, it may involve navigating complex local regulations. Secondly, there's the option of launching a greenfield investment. This means starting from scratch, which offers complete control, that is, but requires significant time and resources. Lastly, partnering or merging with a local firm could leverage existing networks and expertise, offering a middle ground between control and resource allocation. A critical factor in our decision making is China's role. While they will supply the core component, final assembly needs to be strategically placed elsewhere to mitigate policy risks and optimize return on investments. And as we move forward, let's now explore the key investments considerations that will guide our choice. Key investment considerations. They are FDI confidence index as a primary tool. Criteria: low entry barriers. These are the key investment considerations. Strong U.S. trade ties. Again, that's low entry barriers. Strong U.S. trade ties. Location specific advantages. Favorable balance of payments. High U.S. demand due to West Nile virus outbreaks. Now, let's dive into the key investments consideration for our project today. First, we're using the FDI Confidence Index as our primary tool. This index helps us evaluate various potential markets effectively. Now then, let's talk about the essential criteria we are focusing on. We need to ensure low entry barriers. This will enable us to enter the market smoothly without excessive regulatory hurdles. In addition, strong trade ties with the U.S. are, are crucial. This ensures that our operations can benefit from established economic relationships. We need we also need to consider location specific advantages. Each potential site offers unique benefits that can significantly impact our strategy. Finally, maintaining a favorable balance of payments is vital for long-term sustainability. One major driver for this investment is the high U.S. demand due to West Nile virus outbreaks. This demand creates a pressing need for our smokeless mosquito coils, making it an opportune time to establish our presence. Now, I want to engage and invite the audience. Do you have any immediate questions before moving on? All right, moving right along. Top five country options. Five countries. You got China, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, then Poland. Five options. Assembly, that is. China, that's for sourcing, that is, not final assembly. Canada, high infrastructure, high cost. Mexico, top choice, low labor costs, NAFTA benefits. Brazil, trade policy challenges. Poland, rising FDI, but distant. FDI is familiar there in Poland. Now, let's explore our top five country option for foreign direct investment. Starting with China. It's ideal for sourcing material, but not for final assembly due to logistics and policy considerations. Canada offers high quality infrastructure, which is a plus, but comes with heavier price tag. Mexico, on the other hand, stands out as our top choice thanks to its low labor costs and the benefits of NAFTA. And I emphasize NAFTA benefits. Moving on, Brazil faces challenges with trade policies that could complicate operations. Lastly, there's Poland, which is experiencing a rise in FDI, but its geographical distance from the U.S. market adds to complexity. The logistics and mileage. Each option has its merits, but it's important to weigh these factors against our strategic priorities for ROI. its return on investments, and efficiency. That is, recommendations. Mexico is Mexico. Low cost labor. Be garnered there. Proximity to the U.S. market. Proximity is a good word there. Free trade access. NAFTA. Very strong element. Strong U.S. Mexico trade ties. Rising FDI trend in emerging economies due to proximity to the U.S. market and the valuation of its peso, the low-cost labor. Okay, you want to smile? Make eye contact. Let's begin. Let's talk about why Mexico is our top recommendation for investments. First, Mexico offers low-cost labor, which is crucial for maintaining competitive pricing. And it's also incredibly close to the U.S. market, which reduces shipping time and costs. Huge advantage for efficiency. The free trade access through NAFTA further strengthens our position, allowing us to avoid tariffs and benefits from thriving trade relationships between the U.S. and Mexico. No, it's like, in addition, there's a rising trend of foreign direct investments in Mexico, especially within emerging economies. This means they're not only benefiting in the short term, but are also positioned for long-term growth. Positioned for long-term growth. And I'm going to conclude confident tone by saying that overall, Mexico's strategic advantages make it ideal choice for our operation. Thank you. Conclusion. Utility across the board. The utility in terms of utilitarian means care for all, to care, the utility, care. And we see source cause from China, assembled in Mexico, which reduces costs and enhances reliability. It increases ROI for the U.S. base. That's return on investment. It aligns with trade and FDI best practices and due diligence. Now, let's wrap up our presentation by looking at the strategic recommendation we discussed and their broad utility. That is, utilitarian efforts. We're proposing to source cause from China and conduct assembly in Mexico. This approach not only reduces costs but also enhances the reliability of our operation by leveraging the strengths of each location. We are poised to increase our return on investment significantly for our U.S. base. That is, I want to emphasize it increases ROI for the U.S. base. This strategy aligns perfectly with current trade and foreign direct investments best practices, ensuring that we remain competitive and forward thinking. Thank you for your attention, and let's move on to the references that support our findings. Transition to the next slide. References. Top, we have Barkley, T. Barkley, Wall Street Journal, C. W. Hill, the textbook, International Business Textbook, A.T. Kearney, that was from FDI Confidence Index. It's paper, USTR Free Trade Agreements. It's also a paper written out on free trade agreements. And of course, we got Wikipedia, the Byrd Amendment, 2011, Senator Byrd, which was an amendment that the U.S. Congress made out. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the valuable sources that have informed our analysis and recommendation. These references listed our conclusions and provide a foundation for further exploration. That is, Earth, we have Barkley and Hughes, 2011 article for Wall Street Journal, providing insights into the macroeconomics trends. That's the macroeconomic trends, overall picture. Hill's International Business, 8th edition, offering a comprehensive understanding of global business dynamics. We have the A.T. Kearney FDI Confidence Index, also from 2011, gives us a snapshot in investment trends, particularly in emerging markets. The USTR's documents on free trade agreements offer a governmental perspective on trade policy. Lastly, the Wikipedia entry on Byrd Amendment. No, that's not me. No. This is from provided back in 2011. Wikipedia, Senator Byrd, that is, provides context. It provides context of specific legislative impacts on trade. Senator Byrd. These resources ensure our strategies are well grounded and reflect current economic realities. Thank you now. Again, please subscribe. Good day. Thanks.